Hi, welcome to Tarot Talk Thursdays. I'm JC Moonspirit.
I'm Sings with Owls. Welcome.
Welcome. And today we want to do a full moon in Capricorn reading by Sings with Owls. This is a 9-card spread that Sings in. Very excited.
Okay, so number 1, what energies are we working with? A, B, and C. Number 2, what is being illuminated to work on? Number 3, what long-term plans are calling? Number 4, what is holding you back? Number 5, what have I achieved so far? Number 6, the reality of it. Number 7, where have I been too stubborn? Number 8, where can I compromise? And number 9, messages from the full moon.
Beautiful.
Back to 1. A, B, and C. What energies are we working with?
I think maybe the mystical shaman. Really do. I think it's worth it. Plus, I really like this deck, and I don't get to see this one come out to play much.
And this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck.
It's by Alberto Villoldo, Colette Baron Reed, and Marcela Lobos. Beautiful, beautiful work.
I have a couple of Colette Baron Reeds. Okay, so what energies are we working with? We're drawing the cards right now.
So 1A is number 56, Thunder.
Thunder.
The Curse. The Curse.
And the third card.
Sounds like we got some weirdness on Thursday afternoon, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the second one.
Tree of Life.
The Tree of Life for number C. So number 2, what is being illuminated to work on? So I'm getting this.
All right. Brightest deck on the table. This is the Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle deck by Ciolo Thompson. Seattle-based reader.
Okay, and we got Ephemeral Daylily.
Very cool.
And number 3, what long-term plans are calling us?
This is the Animal Totem Tarot by Lisa Robertson. It's one of my favorite decks.
When you want tarot and animals
at the same. I love this deck. Shout out to Mixer Whispers because this was an awesome gift. Just saying.
Okay, and we got the Knight of Cups.
Very cool.
And number 4, what is holding you back?
Like we've already got the curse out, so what could it be?
So this is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck that we're going to pull from here.
Very cool.
Coyote. Okay, so number 5, what have I achieved so far? Hello, everyone.
Botanical Oracle. Hi, everybody.
Happy Thursday. If you're listening to some of the listening areas.
Right.
I hope you're enjoying the show and enjoying the vibe of the day.
It's a very good blessing.
Okay, and we got Regenerate Morel.
Very cool.
And number 6, we have the reality of it.
I'm like, it's doing a thing. Very cool. All right,
That
so
is
this is back to the Animal Totem Tarot.
And I
Very
didn't
cool.
plan that, so.
No, this is completely
not
organic.
plan
We
that.
don't look at the cards before we actually do this. We just set up and turn on the cameras. So this is very cool. 78 cards. Is wide to
lot.
palm. True.
Okay, so we got the star.
Very cool.
Pretty card right there. Okay, so number 7, where have I been too stubborn?
Yep, kind of bounce over there again.
So back to the Mystical Shaman Oracle.
It does make you wonder what the last 2 cards are because we
I'm-
can't loop it one more time.
Right, I know.
Hmm. Interesting energy on that one.
Ooh,
Pachamama.
Pachamama.
Very
And number 8, where can I compromise? It's wanting to bounce on all 3, so we're going to smudge it a little bit. See if that helps it.
So for those of you who are listening and not necessarily viewing a video right now, what we are doing is we are smudging our decks with white sage to clear away the influx of energy coming in at the reading so that we can continue to get a true and honest spread for everybody.
Yeah.
We're back in the Animal Totem Tarot deck now that we've got that confusion resettled.
It does it sometimes.
It does. It's something
They're like,
good.
you can get an answer out of each one of them, but I'd rather them be like more specific. Like, oh, this one.
Right. Like, yeah, this might work for everybody, but everybody's
So-
not reading these cards.
The 2 of Wands is what we got there. And the last one, messages from the full moon.
Capricorn wants to go with the earth,
Yes,
apparently.
full moon in Capricorn.
This is our Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle deck again.
It's the cardinal earth sign.
That's very cool. I'm still trying to figure out which of those I am. I think I'm the mutable air sign because I'm an Aquarius. I know I'm not direct. Linda. Hi, Elle. As you would say, hey, sugar.
Okay, and we got sage and purify.
Very cool.
So the moon says purify it all.
Good.
Okay, back
Into
to
that.
1. What energies are we working with?
These
Okay.
were cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed.
Let's see what she's got for us there.
While Sings is leafing through there, I'm going to go ahead and show this off to the cameras one more time so we can get a nice, clear picture of what it is we're working with here. I like that the Thunder card is not all doom and gloom. It's very bright and colorful.
It says when thunder comes into your reading, it refers to a big dramatic change that feels like a herd of wild bison on the run. You feel it through your bones, and you know that you are powerless to influence whatever events have been set in motion. This is a time to be prepared for anything. Your life is an adventure, and wonderful opportunities are arriving now. The trick is to learn to run with them. Qualities that you'll need now more than ever are flexibility, dexterity, and a willingness to experience it all without dictating from where or in what form opportunities will come. Your destiny is arriving. Be ready.
On to 1B, the curse. I like this one. There's a palm print over the mouth that may be hard for some viewers to see. But there is a woman depicted in this beautiful card here with a handprint over her mouth. It reminds me of the movement for missing murdered Indigenous women here in the Americas.
Okay. The curse refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that preordains the events of our lives. It is a source of negative patterns, and it can show up as a disease, a destructive force, a blockage on your creative energy. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. Be aware of your actions, act with impeccable intention so as to not create a debt or karma that sooner or later someone has to pay. What you do to others, you also do to yourself and to the people you love the most. Now you have the opportunity to clean it up.
1C is the tree of life.
What nutrients do you need to add to your soil to grow strong? The seed of the oak will not grow on barren ground or without the light of the sun. What dreams do you want to awaken to create a mindful destiny? Reflect on how you want to blossom, the kind of fruit you want to produce, and where you want to sow your new seeds. Be a conscious creator. Okay. So, number 2, what is being illuminated to work on?
We got ephemeral, which is daylily. And this was cool to see because I actually had a conversation with Mixer Whispers this morning about the daylily because there are some new lilies that have been planted in our neighborhood we saw on our walk. It's like,
Cool.
doesn't make sense to have something that looks just like a daylily because if it is a daylily, they did all that work for a bloom that only lasts a day. But here we are. In folklore, pregnant women wear daylilies around their waist to encourage the birth of a male child, a note of caution per usage. Proper identification is key, as many lily species are quite toxic, especially if you have pets. Additionally, the raw leaves of the daylily are known to contain hallucinogenic properties. The oracle property for this plant is ephemeral, inspired by the fact that each daylily blossom only lives for a single day, reminding us of the temporary nature of everything in life. It can be very helpful in times of difficulty to remember that everything is fleeting. This too shall pass. Some daylilies blossom at night, a metaphor for beauty born in moments of darkness.
Okay, so number 3, what long-term plans are calling us? And we got the Knight of Cups.
So I think this has a lot to do with our creative endeavors and our creative projects. I'm going to go ahead and read the animal medicine for this one because this is actually not something I see in my usual medicine cards. So this is a blue-footed booby depicted on the card here. It says, "Watch my feet and I will dance for you. I want you to understand that I am a lover, not a fighter. Don't let my knightly gear fool you. I would rather dance with you than see you come to any harm. Just watch my feet and I know that sooner or later you will be right here next to me, enjoying the sound of the waves as we get lost in each other's eyes. For the most dangerous quest of all is the one of the heart." Yes, I think that what we have in front of us is just a lot of emotions that we basically just have to find an outlet for. Because a lot of people will bottle because they don't want to make other people uncomfortable by actually speaking their minds or saying their piece. And some people get so caught up in the aspect of how do I say this in a compassionate way, even though what I'm feeling is not what I would describe as compassionate. So, for those of us who have that experience being wounded healers, I would say that it is very important for us to attend to those things in a meaningful way for us. That may not necessarily be doing what I do, which is smudging and reading cards and things like that to manage symptoms of, say, anxiety or confusion in life. Sometimes you just have to meditate. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a breath. On to number 5.
Number 5, what have I achieved so far? Okay, so we got Coyote. If Coyote calls to you, this is a time to pay special attention to detours and disappointment, as they are true tests of faith. You have set your intentions and turned them over to the Great Spirit. Yet you may find yourself lost and confused when it appears you are being led off course, off the path leading to your most cherished dreams and desires. Remember, the Coyote is a sacred trickster and may be leading you into challenges to ensure that you are ready to handle what you've set in motion. Great growth and understanding come to you when Coyote calls your name. Okay. And number 6, the reality of it.
So we have Morel, which is regenerate. I really like this one. Rotting stumps and deadfalls, scorched, clear cut, or disturbed ground can be the best places to find morels. Though many people have tried to cultivate morels, their efforts have met with very little success. The natural cycle of forest life and death is essential to this organism, relating it to the tarot card death, which reminds us of the devastation that is often the gateway to regeneration. I would say this basically just means we have to pick ourselves back up and we have to move forward. We may have to do so in a way that we're maybe not used to because our comfort zone is not a growth place.
Yeah, I read today, Cancer, they change every 2 to 3 days,
Mhm.
where Capricorns change every 2 to 3 years.
Mhm.
It's a more gradual change.
Right.
So,
I would say though that I have met many cancers in comparison in my experience. I would say that Capricorns, because it takes them so long to go through a change cycle, they're not as wishy-washy as my experiences with water signs have been in the past.
yeah.
Because it's like, okay, you've changed 3 days and now it's been a week and you're back to where you started. We get a little cementation.
Okay, so the reality of it, and we got the star.
I love this card. This is actually my associated tarot card in the deck is the star. At least it's associated to my astrology. So, oyster is our animal today. I know you see me even though I am far away. You see me shining from where you are. I hear your thoughts and words from your heart. Sometimes with wishes so big you are too scared to speak. Yet hear them I do and send them back to you. Tenfold, all wishes coming true, just so you know that I see you too. I love that that sounds like poetry.
Yes, that was cool.
Very cool.
Okay, so number 7, where have I been too stubborn? And we got Pachamama.
I thought that was interesting. Simply because that's Earth. She's an Earth goddess. That's an Earth.
Okay, so you still believe that you have been cast out of the Garden of Eden, that you're motherless and homeless. You suppose that you need to work very hard to survive or thrive. It is time to stop suffering. Let go of that old myth and realize you were given the garden to rejoice in and to become its steward. Your melancholy is really a longing to return to the heart of Pachamama. Listen deeply to the mother who is always there for you. Walk in beauty and honor all life. Okay. And number 8, where can I compromise?
So we had the Two of Wands and Stingray. This is a very interesting card for decision making. Where can I compromise? All right. Gracefully, I make my way through the sea, far and wide, near and far, but always with a destination in mind. To swim aimlessly would not only be dangerous and potentially deadly. Here in the sea, there are many options and opportunities just as on land, and just like in your land based world, if one doesn't act quickly, they will be gone forevermore. I would say when we come across a situation where we have an opportunity to be kind and compassionate, we should take it. And by compassion, we have to consider, and this was a very cool thing that my therapist told me years and years and years ago. Compassion is not just taking care of other people. Compassion is looking at the situation objectively and saying, what is the highest good of all for this situation? The highest good of all is that you leave the situation and come back to it at a point where you have a little bit more wisdom to share or a little bit more patience or whatever that is. Maybe you just need a little more you time so you can recharge your batteries before getting in the middle of that work. That is compassion. Treating yourself with compassion, understanding that everybody's going through a growth cycle, everybody goes through tests, and that is the journey in and of itself. Everybody has their own, and you can't do it for them, is one of the most compassionate things you can do, especially if you're called to being a healer as we are. I would also say that you have to be able to make decisions. You can't just say, well, this would be good for this person, and this would be good for this person, and this would be good for this person. Sometimes it just has to be a one size fits all decision. It just has to say, okay, this is what it is. This is it. I've
This
made
fits
this decision.
everybody.
This fits. We're good. So on to number 9. That's sage.
Yes, and that is the messages from the full moon.
So as Singh said, sage is an herb that's been used for thousands of years by people who wanted to cleanse their spaces of anything that was not in the right vibrational pattern for them. If you have a lot of aggression or negativity in your field, it can be very hard for you to grow as a person. Take, for example, the experiments that scientists have done on plants. If you speak positively to plants, they grow. If you speak negatively, they shrivel and die faster because the cells don't replicate properly because they're just shut down. So when you speak negatively, you shut yourself down. When you speak positively, you allow yourself more room to breathe. You take in more of what you need and you grow. And so I love the Facebook posts that go around every so often that are like, if we speak positively to plants and they grow, what happens when we do it with people?
Well, I mean, and I take it the next step farther. When we
Mhm.
worked into the industry here in Colorado, they had music for the plants.
Yes, they did
And
play music for the
so that
plants.
tells me something.
That was very cool. But yeah, basically, what we're doing is we are stepping out of cycles that no longer belong to us because who we are now is not who we were yesterday. We get to clear that slate in a way and make a new choice. And we don't have to hold ourselves accountable for mistakes that we made in the past anymore because we know that we can forgive them and walk out of them. It's just like walking through a doorway. There is a doorway, find it, walk through it. I will see you on the other side. I am waiting for you there. That's how it goes, y'all.
JK says she would like to play some music.
Very cool. We are coming
If
up
you
on
wanna
that
take a
right now,
picture.
actually.
Almost there. Wonderful. Can we get a camera for?
Very cool. So Sings is keeping track of our reading on hand. We're writing physical notes for this so that we can remember this for ourselves later. We also like to keep track of these things because we like to see what cycles repeat themselves. And one of the very obvious ways we teach ourselves these cards is to keep track. We see which ones come up on a regular basis, and those are kind of our major arcana, if you will. There are big themes that pop up in these cycles. And then we notice every so often that one person or another gets more than one card. We keep track of some of those as well. Like for JK, we kept some notes on the readings we've done for JK before because we just want to help our friends. This is something very cool that you can do for yourself. If you're interested. You want some tips and things, Mixer Whisper and the rest of the team here can give that advice for you. Very cool.
Make
Lots of
sure you
different
put
ways
your
to do it.
crystals out there for the cleansing, guys.
Yes, we have a full moon tonight. Lots of wonderful energy to keep us uplifted and to bring everything to the surface and get more clarity. Great night to charge crystals and medicine jewelry and card decks as well. You can put your decks out in moonlight. I recommend doing that indoors though.
We got pictures. Board.
Very cool.
Okay.
So JK wanted a card from us when we came to that point, and we are there. So if anybody would like a free one card reading, we have the Animal Totem Tarot, the Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle deck, and the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck as well. Showing off our wonderful work on this cardboard that absolutely. All right. Did JK have a specific deck she wanted pulled from?
Waiting to see.
Hello to everybody that joined us on other platforms. I can see we have somebody that joined us on Sings with
Would
Owls
you
on
like
Instagram.
a free one card pull today? If so, please message in and we'll pull you something.
Wonderful. JK has asked for a Mystical Shaman Oracle
Okay, because that one just popped out.
deck. The beloved.
Okay.
Very
Beloved.
My hat shows up.
Your head showed up. Happy face.
Be careful with romantic love, the kind of love you fall in and out of. Own all the projections you have placed upon the person you are dreaming of. Remember that they are only mirroring back your own deep longings rather than revealing their true selves. If you fail to notice this, be prepared to walk through the fire of strong emotions once again. And I'm just going to repeat this one because it really stood out for me. Own all the projections you have placed upon the person you are dreaming of.
I like that. That's kind of a double-edged sword of don't place expectations for other people on them because it just holds them back from being their true self. But also, it's kind of like when we say you have to love yourself before you can love somebody else fully, because we show other people how we expect to be treated in the way that we treat ourselves. And so when we own those projections, we accept that we have to be that for ourselves first anyway. Yes, it's possible to give love to other people and be caring and kind and compassionate and available for people, which is good. But if you want to do that in a way that's safer without all the risk of manipulation and heartbreak, you own those protections.
She said truth.
Can we pull one of those for the weekend?
Absolutely. This is the Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle deck one more time by Aaron Reed.
Might as well have a card for the weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Helps me know what kind of place to be in, you know?
Right. It gives me an idea, something to work with. It's like writing a prompt. You're taking a writing prompting class. You get the thing and you're like, okay,
Okay.
make something out of this.
Hopefulness for the weekend.
I like it.
Enhance. Indigo.
By the way, we are reading some passages from these books that we have here. The book that Sings is reading from is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. I'm reading from the Hedge Witch's Field Guide right now by Ciolo Thompson. It goes with the deck. We want to give credit to those wonderful artists who created these things and also let you guys know that we're doing this because it's helpful to get this kind of information on the shows. We want them to be a learning experience. So, this says, shifting your perspective or routine can bring new life to relationships, situations, and thought patterns. Before discarding something, try changing the way you think about it. Simple changes can make a world of difference when you are in a funk or feeling creatively blocked. Maybe that means a new coat of paint, an out of the ordinary date night, or something as simple as tidying up and setting out a place of flowers. And I like that this is called broom clover and baptisia, because when I think baptisia, I think of the cleansing ritual the Christians have where you just start from scratch, you wipe that clean. And I like broom clover because it reminds me of besoms. Besoms are something that we use in the craft all the time to cleanse our altars. And if you have full length ones, you can even use them to cleanse your sacred space. So I think that's a wonderful way to enhance our lives.
Right.
Do we have any other requests for one cards tonight? This afternoon, this morning, whenever you're listening.
Tomorrow,
Not us.
next week.
A year from now.
All righty.
All right. Well, peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast today. Tune in for our other content, including Friday Flow and our coffee clutch tomorrow with my bestie Sings with Alice and myself, JC Moon Spirit.
Get some Reiki energy.
Yeah, some Reiki energy, do some meditation. It's good for you. Peace and blessings.
Have a good weekend.